Hey everybody, welcome to Badge Banter, where we feature some incredible stories about the value of an ID badge in organizations and how they can help people better recognize and connect with one another. I'm Lindsay Martinez from Badge Pass, and I'm super excited for today's guest. I always love when we get to have somebody who I not only adore personally, but is just like a really fun voice in the security industry. So I will be introducing Benji Bolick from ProDataKey, who is also the Dork for all of you who are active on LinkedIn. So if you know him as the Dork instead of Benji, he's here today with me. So hey Benji, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So before we dive in today, can you tell us a little bit about PDK and your role there?
Yeah, PDK, in a nutshell, ProDataKey, is a cloud-based access control platform. Everything that is complex and complicated with the access control industry, we've simplified it. We make it intuitive and just user-friendly, which is, why the PDK even started was because one of our co-founders, used to rep a complicated or complex access system, and they're like, what? Beating his head against the wall, like, hey, why does it have to be so complicated? And it doesn't. I feel like there's a song there. Why does it have to be so complicated? But my role with PDK is I am a regional sales manager for Pacific Northwest, but more importantly, I am a partner fanatic. We call ourselves partner fanatics at PDK, partially because we are fanatics about our partners. If they are successful, we're successful, and everything we do goes into making their lives easier and helping them grow their businesses, and in return, that helps us grow our business as well. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Cloud-based access control that's really simple to use, and we go above and beyond for our partners.
I love that. I think that's probably why every time I've interacted with you guys, I felt like there's so much synergy between us because of like the way we approach the market and talk about our partners and just the whole vibe of your team. So you guys are a lot of fun.
Yeah, companies everyone has like mission statements and core values, but it's rare that you actually work for a company that implements those, and PDK is definitely, the culture there is like second to none. Well, maybe Badge Pass has got a better culture, but we'll see.
Maybe they're just like equally as awesome. Let's just say that. Like, there you go. And I think that your marketing team should probably run with that little jingle that you started working on. So I hope they're taking notes when they watch this.
Brock, are you listening?
So, as much as you love PDK, that wasn't your introduction to the security industry, though. And so many of our listeners probably know you as the Dork and follow you on LinkedIn, which is how I knew you before I actually knew you. And so you post a lot of stuff online about access control installations, unusual door installations, configurations, door fails, like you name it. So tell us a little bit about how the Dork came to be.
Lindsay, ever since I can remember as a small child, I've been obsessed with Dork. I'm just kidding. No one grows up saying like, hey, I want to be a Dork when I grow up, right? Like,
no, they don't.
And I can't believe it's been 8 years since I've been introduced to the industry, which doesn't seem like that long, but also I feel like it's been almost too long as well. I used to have a lot more hair back then. My obsession with doors actually happened on the final interview with my previous company. I used to work for a large door hardware manufacturer, Assa Abloy. You might have heard of them.
Might have.
Yeah, they're just one of those largest companies you never heard of. But going into it, I literally didn't know what Assa Abloy was. I didn't know what a key was. I didn't know. I knew what a key was, and I knew it unlocked our door, but I didn't know all the little components to it. I didn't know what access control was. I just knew that sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But long story short, I was in my final interview with Assa Abloy, and I thought it went really well. And they actually asked me to stay after for a school safety demo. I was like, what is this? Of course I'm going to stay. I need to check this out. And it was a demonstration of, it's called School Guard Glass. And they shoot up this door with, different calibers of guns. And then they give this guy a baseball bat, and he says, you got 5 minutes to break in and unlock this door. And, as this whole thing is coming down, I was like, what are we doing here? What kind of industry do we live in? Like this is such. I mean, I think people as security professionals, we often lose sight of how important our jobs are. Like we're doing some pretty important things and pretty cool stuff also. But long story short, that's when the obsession began. I went through Assa Abloy's foundation training, which is like a very intensive 6-week. They fly out to all the different manufacturing plants in the States, spend a week on the line with the product managers, with, putting the pieces together and pulling them apart. And so it was like drinking from the fire hose, but I loved every moment of it. I was obsessed from day one.
And then you just started writing about it and posting pictures all the time.
Yeah, so the actual Dork, well, first of all, the name Dork actually came from my wife. During that foundation training, we had the weekends off and I'd come home, but we had homework that we had to do. So one night I was laying in bed getting ready to go to bed, and my wife walks in and I'm reading a sergeant technical manual. And she's like, "You're such a dork." And I'm like, "Dork? Wait a second, honey, do you know what you just did there?" And so that's where the actual name Dork came from. But the online persona happened during the pandemic. There was this virus or something going around. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was
I was completely distressed.
And with my previous role, I was so used to going to, I was working with hospitals, I was working with higher education, K through 12, government, and overnight all of those were shut down. So I was looking for a creative way to stay connected to our current existing customers and potentially open up new doors for opportunity. And I was looking for a digital way to do that, and I stumbled on LinkedIn, and I always thought LinkedIn, that's my dad's super serious social media.
That's for old people.
Yeah, that's for old people. Like, why would I be on there? But as I was doing my research, the security industry is an older industry, and LinkedIn is the most trusted social platform out there, and so naturally that would attract a lot of people from the security industry. And so one thing led to another. That's when the Dork persona started, was me just engaging on this wonderful platform, LinkedIn.
So I am fairly active on LinkedIn, although that's pretty recent for me. I didn't start posting until last year regularly, and I'm pretty conscious that anything I post, I'm also the CEO of BadgeFast. So when I make a post, I am cognizant of that, but I still am me. So I think that my posts have to sound like that. But I've really kind of encouraged our team members to become more active themselves and share posts, not just about BadgeFast products, but about work and their families and them personally and things that are important to them. And not every leader in our industry is that comfortable with that. And I can certainly see how employee activity on social media, whether we're talking about LinkedIn or we're talking about other platforms, it's becoming more and more of a hot topic. You and I were on a panel at ISC East in the fall, and it came up on there too. And so we can't avoid this. Our employees are going to be active on LinkedIn. You are an employee now at a different place than where you started the Dork, and you're active on LinkedIn. So what are your thoughts on this, and how do you navigate this personally, within your own company?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to kind of acknowledge all companies out there in general. But if you're not empowering your employees to be social advocates for your company, you're missing out on free money. It would be so stupid for companies not to empower their employees to be a voice for their company, because first of all, your customers are going to trust the voice of your employees more than your marketing team.
Yeah.
And I all the marketing professionals what? No, I used to be one. I was there. I get it. And it's true, because it's so difficult nowadays for people to connect with a brand, with a company brand, right? Unless they have someone there to, walk them to the brand. If they have someone that they trust and know, and unless the company has millions of dollars like Nike that can spend on, PR or professional athletes or social media influencers, right? You're not going to be able to organically build that just by your company's LinkedIn posts, right?
No.
That's not going to gain as much traction as I mean, give you and I mean, you're a perfect example of Badge Pass. Like, a couple, maybe even a year and a half ago, I had never even heard of Badge Pass, let alone like understood what you guys did. And then all of a sudden, this Lindsay girl starts engaging on LinkedIn. I'm like, what's the deal with here? And what's up with all the bright shirts and all the positivity and all of that? And I found myself drawn to your guys' brand by association, right? And
Right.
think about how much engagement you've gotten in your own company just
Sure.
by your personal brand. And so if you're able to think about, how many employees you have on your team, or all the companies out there, think about how many employees you have on your team and empowering them, because they're going to, like you said, they're going to be posting on social media already. Like whether they give a little thumbs up there.
That
They're going to be posting on social media already. Why not, train them, empower them to say something good for the company as well. But it's not only that, because you don't want them to just be like a puppet for your company. You
correct,
want
and
them
it's
to
not
have-
very authentic.
Yeah, and the companies that empower their employees but then let them do their stuff is what's remarkable. And the companies that are afraid to let their companies do that are going to be to let their employees do that are going to be left in the dust, because they're missing out on such an incredible marketing opportunity.
No, I agree. I have some employees who are always like, I wish I could be more active, or like, I wish I could think of what to write. Like, how do you do that? And I feel like even me, before I started it, I was like hesitant to do it. I was like, is this going to come across as weird, like weirdly arrogant for me to like post things about my life or something on social media? Like, I'd never done it before. And I think that we have employees that feel that way. Like, have you ever felt like that? Like, this is weird to post, or like, should I post? And how do you like get past that fear of like, are people gonna like this, or is this gonna be weird? Or
I mean, I would say yes. I have gotten my wrist slapped a couple of times, hand slapped, wrist slapped a couple of times, but it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like anything that was really terrible. Like it didn't like collapse the company's image, right? And that's what like companies think, like, hey, I don't want them to engage on this platform because what if they say something bad? Well, you hired these people because you trust them, right?
Right.
You trust their voice and their opinion. And so if you're able to like lean into that, you're unlocking a whole nother level of marketing, and it's untapped out there for sure. So
if I trust you to go represent my brand, like at a customer site or at a partner site or at a trade show, like why would I not trust you to represent it online too?
Exactly. Yes. And so as an employee, you have to have that kind of mindset, like thinking like, what's the worst thing that could happen? If I do get in trouble for speaking my truth, like that I believe in, then maybe that's not the right company that you should be working with, right? Like that, if maybe it wasn't a good hire to begin with if you're going to get in trouble for posting on social media.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And I mean, to be fair, you keep your posts like very high energy, positive. Like,
Yeah.
Not like you're out there spewing a bunch of negativity like the security industry sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that is helpful too. And like, it just depends on the tone that you take and the attitude you have about it. But anyway, you are currently working for an access control manufacturer that places an emphasis on mobile access. But because this is badge banter, like we're obviously going to talk about badges at some point. Like we can't talk about LinkedIn forever. And so can you share with us like a personal story of a customer that you worked with or a place that you visited who implemented secure ID badges in a really cool way that you were impressed by?
Yeah, so I worked on a job. It was a casino, and it was on the facility side of a casino. And so it was on an Indian reservation, and so, I'm sorry, Native American
It's fine.
reservation. It's remarkable. If you think that security is intense on the floor of a casino, the behind the scenes, the back of house, it's even it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And so walking into this facility side, they have a man trap, basically set up. So you have to scan your badge to get into that man trap. You have to wait for it to close behind you, and then you can unlock the next door. And that's just the first layer. As you walk in, you're meted with a security guard, like a desk. They have a camera that then verifies your face, matches the card that they have on file, and it shows up and it gives you a green light. So I'm a little excited about this.
You're showing emojis with your hands, like you're knocking down microphones. We're very into this.
And so the security officer would then, verify that your picture matches the badge that they have on file. If you're a visitor, they actually print off a badge for you while you're there, because I was a visitor, obviously, working on this job. But anyways, and even during COVID, they had one of those FLIR thermal cameras there as well. Not only did it capture like your face and matched it with your identity, your security badge, right? But also it took your temperature to make sure that you weren't sick, and if it came up red, then you weren't allowed to come in. So I guess anyways, long story short, that was a pretty cool interaction where I think a badge was very essential, very important to their security process, because I don't know how many millions of dollars of going through this casino in their back of house, but if they don't have those security processes in place, like something bad could happen.
Yeah.
That's literally the plot to several very big movies, right?
Yes, very big movies. You're right. That's awesome. No, that's a great story. We see that man trap scenario with multiple badges and validating identity in banks a lot too. So again, I guess there's a lot of money changing hands in those locations.
Yes.
So well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. What do you think? Obviously, you've come from a lot of mobile, but you've been around the industry for a long time on both sides of it. Asabloy and HID, there's a lot of physical credentials in that world too. Yes. What's your opinion on like the coexistence of physical and mobile credentials, and how do you think that will evolve over the next couple of years?
Phil Coppola is probably going to hate me for saying this, but I think the physical badge will actually outlast the mobile credential.
Oh man, this is great.
And I'll probably get in trouble from my boss because, we're a mobile first access system, and, mobile will still have its place. And it's extremely convenient, but there will always be scenarios like that casino, like the bank, like government, where they need that physical proof just to verify that you are who you are. But I think there's going to be technology that's going to be layered into that, similar to the casino setup, right? Like they had facial recognition, right? They had, you had to scan your badge, so you had the authorized credentials. There was multi-factor, and that having that badge connected to your shirt was just one more layer in the security environment. And I think in some places that will probably outlast the mobile credential, because who knows what who knows what the future of the credential looks like, but it could be phone based, or it could be biometrics, right?
Sure.
It could be a long range reader can sense your presence is coming, right, and unlocking the doors naturally because of that. Like who knows what the future of access control looks like, but I think there's still, as long as the government exists, badges will exist. So
yeah, and I think there's such a, I don't know, for me it's like a peace of mind, like comfort thing for human, like people feel better when they see something visual. Yeah. And you don't have that, and we talk about it a lot, like it helps employees feel connected to one another, it helps them feel like a sense of belonging, like that's their people. But also from a security and safety perspective, hospitals do surveys all the time to patients, and they constantly talk about like how important it is that the staff is wearing a badge that identifies them, because it makes them feel safer. And I know that sometimes there's this like perceived value of the badge, but like perception is reality a lot of times for end users and the people who are experiencing it. And like you said, when you couple it with some type of validation or something else that's happening, so you're not just taking the badge at face value, like that's when you can really build some cool systems and stories.
I actually didn't even think about it in that way, but like if you were a new employee at the office and everyone's wearing badges, that would be such a helpful way for you to remember people's names. Like
Yes.
that's huge. Like especially if you remember someone's name, like that's the sweetest sound to their own voice. I mean, to their own ears, right? Is their name, and if you're able to remember that faster, like you're gonna incorporate a healthier company culture quicker
Yeah.
because of that. I
So
didn't think about that. I'm kind of having
You're having a moment? This
yeah,
is like our whole story. I'm so excited for you. We even modified all of our badge templates to make the first name very large this year. And so now you can see it from like further away. And a lot of our companies that we work with, and even like K through 12 schools, we've done it personally as well, but they'll add like interest icons where you can like spark conversation. So if like I have a golf icon on my badge, like you're in the break room with me, you can tell my name's Lindsay, but then you're like, oh, do you play golf? Or like, oh, you like to travel, if it's an airplane or whatever it might be. And that like really helps. I mean, we're a smaller organization, so like we know each other, but when you work with 500, 600, 2,000 people, or you're in and out of the office because you're in a hybrid model, that is super helpful from a connection perspective.
100%. I am on Team Badge Pass now. That's
Welcome to this side. No, I love it. So this was super fun. We could keep talking about mobile credentials indoors probably for way too long, but that would exhaust people, and you might end up using your hands too much and completely destroying your microphone. So we'll wrap things up. But one of my favorite segments that we've added this season on Badge Banter is called Badge Blitz. And so for the next 60 seconds, I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire questions. I didn't send these to you in advance. You have no way of knowing what they are. So just give me your immediate gut reaction. Typically like one sentence or less is plenty. These are not designed to be challenging.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No storytelling.
Well, you will run out of time for all the questions. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. What is a current industry practice or outdated technology that drives you crazy?
Ooh, my gut says Prox and Wiegand.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what is the most overused phrase in meetings or emails?
Synergy? I don't know.
Would you rather explain the difference between smart cards and prox cards to a toddler or your grandparent?
Ooh, probably the toddler.
Me too, 100%.
Yeah.
If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow, what topic would you choose to talk about?
Doors. How doors affect people.
If your life had a soundtrack, what would it be called?
Probably something written by Jim Morrison. The Doors.
What is the last book that you read?
Ooh, it's actually a fun. Well, time's
No,
up.
you can tell me the answer still. It's good.
Okay. I actually just started reading Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. It's like fantasy stuff. So.
Okay. Is it good?
Yeah. Usually I don't read fun books. I'm all about like business and strategy and and sales books. But I was drawn. A friend recommended it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a really cool book.
That's awesome. Fun books are important too. Like I'm a big reader, and so I read more fun books than business books. But you got to mix them in.
Yes, for sure.
Well, this is awesome. It's always fun to connect with you. I always get a good laugh out of it for sure. So I appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with me today. Thank you so much for being here, Benji. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about doors and LinkedIn, two things that I'm passionate about.
Exactly right. What could be better? And to everybody else, thanks so much for tuning in. We hope you'll join us next time as we take you beyond the badge.